Sadie here and welcome back. iPhone 17 Air. The news started kicking off again. We might actually see this one coming out later this year, but it's following by so many questions. Why does it have to be so many things? What is the price? What is the difference between this phone, the Pro models, and the regular models? So many questions, but we don't have that many answers. And if this actually will get to be a real phone. So let's see what we know so far. I guess having slim phones, or to say thin phones, is something trendy because I watched this video the other day by Mr. Who's the Boss, who was talking about the new S25 Edge, which is ultra thin compared to the other phones. And literally, who asked about having thinner phones? We don't know, but let's see what we know about the iPhone 17 Air. So, rumor has it we may soon see the ultra thin iPhone. The rumored iPhone 17 Air, or it might be called the iPhone Slim, could potentially replace the current iPhone Plus and aim it Apple's next iPhone release in the coming months. The buzz about Air is getting a lot of attention in the iPhone 17 rumor mill, but the prospect also has people asking if Apple may have to sacrifice features to get super thin phone. Now the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge has launched as the facto thinnest smartphone around. Apple has serious competition. The company also run awful of US President Donald Trump's trade war. Over social media, Trump threatened that the iPhones made outside the United States would face 25% tariffs when imported, meaning Apple's rumored upcoming thin phone could get more expensive before it's even been officially announced. So there is a chance that we might get it because I believe that Samsung and Apple are the biggest competitors when it comes to making phones. So if Samsung is making it, Apple probably will follow through. Even though there were people talking about this iPhone Air or iPhone Slim long time ago, just now since Samsung launched their S25 Edge, people again started talking, okay, maybe we'll see something from Apple. But what features we will get and how much it will cost this device? Before we even talk about prices and features, let's see when and if this phone will actually get released. So, for nearly a decade, Apple has held an event in September to announce its new phones. This year, we expect Apple to reveal the iPhone 17 series, including the rumored iPhone 17 Air. If the iPhone 17 Air rumors are true, Apple would be the latest to join the ultra-thin phone trend this year. The iPhone 17 lineup may be last to follow this full release model, according to Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, and a report from the information. Starting with the iPhone 18, Apple will reportedly split its phone releases so that lower-cost iPhones launch in the first half of the year, previously reserved for the iPhone SE models, and higher-end Pro models are announced in the later half. That would likely mean a rumored iPhone 18 Pro, Pro Max, Air, and new foldable iPhone model could debut in fall in 2026. Keep in mind that the iPhone Flip or Fold has been rumored for years. Since Samsung started making these, and many other companies, Motorola as well, people suggested that Apple will start making them soon. Well, it's been a few years now, we still haven't seen a foldable or flip phone for Apple, but this might be on their bingo card for 2026. One of the biggest questions that people have when it comes to the iPhone 17 Air is how much it will cost, because we all know what happened when Apple released their iPhone 16e. Not many people were happy with the price and the features that it has. So how much can we pay for this new iPhone 17 Air? So early rumors about the iPhone 17 Air hinted that it could cost even more than the iPhone 17 Pro, but the Mark Bloomberg report suggested that the phone could cost around $900. That price tag would align with the rumor that the Air could replace the Plus, which currently costs $899. For comparison, Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge starts at $1,100. However, there's also a question of how tariffs could affect the price of an iPhone. Amid President Donald Trump's ongoing tariff drama, Apple has mostly escaped additional taxes by stock-keeping inventory and getting most of its products on a tariff exemption list. Apple has moved some production of the US iPhones to India to avoid the steeper tariff imposed on China. However, Trump recently said he pushed Apple CEO Tim Cook to move US iPhone production from India to the US. How much all this could affect the iPhone price is yet to be determined. So if it's true, it will get the price of the iPhone Plus, just like every year. The newest phones get the price of the oldest ones. But will this keep with all this tariff and all this Trump drama going on? We're about to find out. One of the most important features when it comes to a phone is the camera. How good and how many cameras will this new iPhone have? So, among the rumored potential sacrifices Apple may have to make to get skinnier phone is limiting the camera features. The rumored iPhone 17 line is getting a new camera bar that extends across the width of the phone, but Front Page Tech shared an iPhone 17 Air video in February that showed a physical mock-up of the phone based on rumors. One of the most surprising reveals was a smaller camera bar with one lens on the left, suggesting the Air phone has a single rear camera similar to the iPhone 16e of $599. It's not clear if the camera would be the same as the iPhone 16e or if Apple would go to the route Samsung did and include the main camera from the iPhone 17 Pro. The single camera theory is backed up by analyst Ming-Chi Kuo and Bloomberg report, which said that the rumored Air might not have the ultra-wide and 5x telephoto lenses that have become staples of Apple's premium iPhones. Of course, when you're pricing the phone to take the place of the Plus, it will have some limitations. If we even compare the base models with the Pro models, we also see limitations. We saw the 16e, what it looks like, what limitations it had compared to the Pro and even the regular ones for the price that it cost. It was supposed to be like a cheaper iPhone, like an entry model, but with this price, not many people thought the same. So we're about to see how this phone will end up looking, how many cameras. Probably it will be only one to all the costs that they have to do and all the limitations they have to make to get you to the price that it will eventually cost. Another important thing when it comes to phones is the display. How many gigahertz you have, how big it will be. Let's see what we know so far. So it may be getting a lot of attention, but the rumored Air appears to be less an advanced Pro model and more a replacement for the Plus. However, rumors are that the Air would have a 6.6-inch display according to analyst Jeff Hu and Ming-Chi Kuo. If accurate, that would mean the Air display is slightly smaller than the iPhone 16 Plus with a 6.7-inch display, but larger than the iPhone 16 Pro, which features a 6.3-inch display. The iPhone 16 Pro Max leads with a 6.9-inch display. It's unclear if the 17 Air screen would be a ProMotion display like the one found on the iPhone Pro models. If the rumored Air lives up to its name, then the biggest potential advantage it could be offer over a Pro is its size and weight. A Bloomberg report from March shows that the iPhone Air could measure 5.5mm thick compared to the iPhone 16 Pro at 8.25 millimeters. So the biggest deal about this phone definitely will be the weight and the size, because if you weigh less, probably it omits some parts. So about the display, if they're comparing it with the Plus, which means they're also comparing it with the 16 Pro Max, since these phones have the biggest display. So this one will be somewhere in between these two models. Another key feature when it comes to a phone is its battery life. Since this iPhone is rumored to be so thin, they probably have to reduce the battery life so it can fit in its new body. What we know so far? So among challenges of slimming down an iPhone could be figuring out how to reduce the battery size without compromising battery life. Initially, it was assumed that a skinnier iPhone would simply have a reduced battery life since there would be less space to house a large battery. But more recently, Apple Insider reported that a skinnier iPhone might use a silicone anode battery that could help extend its battery life. US1122 said the battery capacity is 2,800 milliamperes based on details that originate with mass production confirmed sample. According to Mac Rumors, it added that a high density battery in the Air could increase its actual capacity by 15 to 20%. So Apple is trying not to reduce the battery that much and still somehow fit it into the new body of the phone scene. All this makes me realize that yes, the battery won't be like the Pro models. It could probably compare with the regular Pro, not the Pro Max, or maybe they can try to fit the same battery life that the Plus has, since it's rumored to be more like the iPhone Plus models, and put it into the Air, just somehow slim it, put it into the skinnier body, and see how fast this can go. Okay guys, that was the video. Hope you enjoyed. Comment down below, what are your predictions about the iPhone 17 Air? Do you think this phone will actually come true? What do you want it to have, like features, maybe battery life? bigger display, more cameras, or you think that this is just another rumor that will just stay as a rumor and we'll never see such a phone coming out. We keep seeing a lot of rumors when it comes to Apple and their products, but some of them were just too good to be true. Like we used to have an iPhone Ultra, as we see, we're talking now about the iPhone Air. We don't have an Ultra phone yet. I don't think we'll ever have it. Let's keep it to the Apple Watch Ultra and stick it there. But that was the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. Please smash that like button if you like this video, share it with friends. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on the bell so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye!